BalconyTV. Hello again, welcome back to Balcony TV London. I have with me here Abigail Washburn. How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you.
Wonderful, okay, and what song are you going to play for us?
This is a song called City of Refuge.
City of Refuge, wonderful, in your own time. Thank you.
Father, Adam's on the roof and Eve is in the gutter. Eden's on the far side where the circle started. To run with the gods, you've got to run harder. Run to the city of refuge, where everyone is made new. Oh, the city of refuge, where everyone is made new. Oh, the city of refuge, where our burdens lay in the towers, where we came from.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much. I guess the first thing I have to mention is the banjo.
Yeah.
It's quite an amazing instrument. Now, what made you pick that up in the first place?
Well, I had been spending all this time in China.
Right. Okay. Yes.
I speak Mandarin Chinese, and I was getting a degree in Chinese. And,
right. Okay.
all my friends would always ask me, so, you know, what's happening in America? What's so cool in America? And they had this impression that was all like Hollywood. Like pretty much when they thought of America, they thought of Sharon Stone or some big scary person pulling out a gun and threatening somebody else. That's pretty much, right?
That's what I think. Is that all right?
Yeah, that's pretty much accurate. That's the thing. So I was looking for something that didn't have to do with like violence or Sharon Stone like spreading her legs, which is pretty awesome. But and I discovered, I guess you could say, the banjo. One night at a party, some friends who love folk music put on this guy named Doc Watson, and he was singing and playing these old songs on the banjo coming out of the record player, and I thought, that's really awesome. So
wow, okay. So
I bought a banjo and I took it back, and instead of like, you know, I'd go out for karaoke. And in addition to doing karaoke, I'd pull out my banjo and I'd start singing like old ballads.
Wow.
And my friends were like, "Oh, wow, what's that?" And I'm like, "This is an American instrument. It's called the banjo."
Oh, brilliant. Okay. Yeah. Wonderful. Okay. Now
and
that's.
Then I ended up playing music magically.
Well, you play it very magically, must I say?
Well,
so,
that's very sweet of you.
I was going to say actually because you actually studied to be a lawyer in China. Is that right?
That's right. Yeah.
And that's where that all sort of came about.
That's what I thought I was going to do.
Right. Okay. Okay. And then life took you down a different path.
Yeah. I jumped in my little red Toyota truck and I started out in where I was living at the time was up in northeastern United States in Vermont, and I went on this big road trip from Vermont down to Tennessee to visit a boyfriend I had at the time.
Okay.
And along the way I was like, well, before I move over to China for the rest of my life, I should learn some actual banjo music other than just stuff I learned off of like a record player, you know, off of a recording. And that's when I stopped in West Virginia and I hung out in the hollers in the mountains with these old people and learned all these old songs.
Big long beards and that kind of thing.
Yeah. Some of them are real clean shaven.
Oh wow,
Depends who you run into.
Well,
you know, it's a point of pride for some people to be real clean shaven.
Wow. Okay.
Have their chew wad and their
I was going to say a little spittoon on the side.
Spittoon,
and,
that's right.
wonderful.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I did all this like learning of these old songs. Not that much. I mean, it was only a couple days that I was up in the mountains, but I ended up going to this thing called the Bluegrass Music Association Convention in Louisville, Kentucky.
Wow, that's quite a mouthful.
Yeah, it's quite a mouthful. Okay. And that was in 2003. And that was like my last stop before I went down to Tennessee, visited my boyfriend, and went off to China.
Wow, okay.
And on that stop at the Bluegrass Convention, I was just playing in a hallway with these three girls. I really only knew like a handful of songs. And I was playing those few songs I knew with these girls. And this record company, A&R guy, walked by and said, "Hey, do you want to come play for the president of the label? I like your sound."
Amazing.
Yeah.
So these things do happen.
They'd happen.
If you're an aspiring musician, they do happen.
It does happen.
You've got the talent and the
It's
voice.
weird as can be.
It's there for you, yeah.
I didn't think I had the talent or the voice, and for some reason I got a record deal, and it changed my whole life. I didn't
want to be a lawyer in China anymore?
I kind of quit on that path,
Wow,
and I ended up playing music, and now I go to China on tour every year.
It's funny actually because it has got an almost I don't know. I mean, maybe I'm being musically inaccurate
I know what
here,
you
but
mean.
it has like a Chinese kind of sound to it almost. Like so, it's got that sort of almost folk kind of vibe, and there's Chinese kind of roots. It's kind of it's all there. So and
it's true.
And I understand you spent a lot of time in the Sichuan province and learned some of their folk music and
You've
such like.
done your homework, buddy.
I do try. You know, I can't turn up here absolutely blind. I do. You know, so, but yes, I mean, tell us a little bit about that, perhaps. So.
Which part?
Well, sorry, just how
Sichuan province.
Yeah, and you just kind of you ended up sort of almost combining the sort of bluegrass kind of learnings with their Chinese sort of folk music.
No, that's right. Yeah.
How did that kind of happen, and how was it for you? Really?
Well, and as I've gotten into this, I've realized that I played something that has almost nothing to do with bluegrass.
Right. Okay.
So what I play
I do
is
apologize.
actually
Sorry.
No. I'm really offended. So that's why I was bringing it up.
You're storming off any
huge
minute.
deal. Yeah, this sucks, but I hope it's over soon. This is actually an open back banjo.
Okay.
And this is most commonly used in something called old time American music.
Right. Okay.
And this banjo is, and the way I play it is most closely connected to the ancestors of the banjo, which are Africans.
Oh right.
So the banjo came from Gambia to the United States with the first slaves that came over.
Wow. Okay.
And so this way and this style and the fifth string and the way that I play like this, it's called clawhammer.
Right.
That's very much connected to the original early African way of playing the banjo.
Right. Okay.
So if you like see some guys over in Gambia playing this thing called the encanting, it looks almost exactly like how I play.
Oh, okay. Wow.
So that's the sort of the more I've learned about it, the more I've learned that I don't play bluegrass music. I actually play this other thing called old time music.
Okay. So it's not bluegrass.
Yeah.
Correct myself. It's not bluegrass.
But I think it's important because like the connection is really that roots music is universal because I think it's because when people were first making sounds, the thing they did was to accompany their voices. They looked around and they saw the crap that was like in their vicinity, and they basically picked it up and put it together. For the most part, that's like it's like animal hides and guts and wood or bamboo or whatever's close to you, and
making a rhythm or a melody,
and you go and you play. And so I feel like the banjo is one of those instruments that's just
universal.
It's universal.
Got a global thing going
Plus
on.
it's round, so that's like super
yes,
vibey.
Absolutely, yeah. Excellent. Okay. Let me just ask: is there an album? What's happening here? How can people get hold of your music and download it, or buy it in a shop or something?
Right.
I don't know. These shops exist somewhere.
I
think
do
so.
still, right?
Yeah.
At least in like that virtual cloud thing that people are talking
Absolutely.
about.
Maybe Second Life or something.
Cyberspace,
Yeah, exactly. Something. But yes. Anyway, your album. Can we get a name check?
Or they could come see it live too.
They could come see it live. Yes.
Which is probably the best experience. But yeah, I have a bunch of records, and but the one that I'm really touring behind now and excited about in the present moment is this project called City of Refuge.
Right, okay.
And that's the title track that I just played. Yeah.
Wonderful, okay.
And a lot of this record itself has come together because of a new collaboration that I've sort of stumbled upon recently in the past couple of years with this guy who you're about to see. He's actually sitting right over there.
Is that right? Okay.
Yeah, he's by the foosball table.
Hello. You can't see him, but you will. You will see him, yeah.
Leaning on the foosball table.
Why not, yes.
Looking sweet.
Yeah.
And he, anyway, I met him one night. I was mostly in the world of acoustic music, progressive string music in the United States, and playing with a band called Uncle Earl that was actually produced by John Paul Jones. So that's the first time I came over to the UK.
That was an all-girl band, wasn't it?
That's right.
Yeah.
And we had several records together, so people might be interested in that. And then I also have my first record called Song of the Traveling Daughter. I had a project with a group called the Sparrow Quartet, which was like chamber roots music. And then I was trying to figure out what to do next, and I saw this guy playing at a club. And he was playing in like a pop rock band.
Right, okay.
And I'd never played with anybody like that. He was just all over the stage, leading all the horn sections on the trumpet, and then he'd be singing, and then he'd be playing keys, and little did I know, accordion. Just everything. And it's such a great energy, and I thought, wow, that would be really cool to see what would happen if I learned from somebody like that and got to play with somebody like that. And so we've gotten together and started making music, and a lot of the songwriting and the arrangement came from our collaboration on this new record, City of Refuge.
And that's all on the record, City of Refuge.
City of
Back in ETV.